All right, guys, let's take some time and talk about the Salt River Golf Course, because if you live anywhere near 23 Mile Road in Baker or Chesterfield Township in general, you've driven past this land in the last few years and you've probably thought just one of two things. Either, wow, that place used to be beautiful and fun, or wow, it now looks like a post-apocalyptic prairie. And honestly, both people are correct. This site is turned into probably the most emotional piece of land inside of Chesterfield Township in a long time. And I get it, because it's not really about the land. It's about what this area is supposed to be and become 10 years from now. So today I'm going to actually do three things for you guys. One, I'm going to give you the cleanest facts that we have about what's going on without any Facebook telepathy. Two, I'm going to show you what's actually been proposed in a way that's fair from actually both sides. And three, I'm going to give you a realistic future menu of what this land could become, including how a community actually funds taking over green space when everybody says they want it, but nobody knows how in the hell they're going to pay for it. And quick disclaimer, guys, I'm literally at the mercy of what is publicly available. The agendas, the packets, and the coverage that's online or down at the township. I'm not in any of these backroom meetings. So if something changes tomorrow, that doesn't mean today was a lie. It just means local development is like weather here in Michigan. If you don't like it, just wait 15 minutes and things will probably change. Okay, first, what this place is on paper. The township's planning materials describe this as one big parcel, about 114 acres, north of 23 Mile Road, west of Baker. And here's the part that matters for traffic. The only entrance to the site is via 23 Mile Road. This causes some situation here. It used to be just the old former Salt River Golf Course and bowling alley, and it's currently vacant, and it has been for a while. And the Salt River is actually running right throughout the site. So right away, this isn't just like a blank, easy canvas for anyone to develop on. This is a piece of land with a giant river and a main river running through it with only one main access point. Now, what's actually been proposed? The public discussion keeps saying around 200 homes, and that's because the rezoning package describes a plan for 147 detached single-family lots plus 48 condo units in 12 fourplex buildings. And yes, this did move forward. The Planning Commission recommended rezoning last year in June of 25, and the Board of Trustees voted 4-3 to approve the zoning change on July 8th of 2025. Now, this is important. Zoning change does not mean the bulldozers are arriving tomorrow. It means the door is more open than it previously was. It's permission. Can they even build here? The answer is yes, but not whatever they want, because the same planning materials spell out the constraints. The Salt River runs through this parcel, and as a result, the site has lots of surface water, wetlands, flood hazard zones, regulated floodways, and hydric soils. In translation, what the hell does that mean? The land doesn't care about opinions. Engineering and regulations are actually going to shape what's actually possible there. Now, let's do the thing that most people don't want to do. Let's actually give both sides their best argument. Side A, the build it crowd. They look at it and go, hey, it's private land. The owner can't run a golf course there forever. Housing demand in the area of Chesterfield Township, it's real. Let's just build something nice. They're not wrong. The planning letter even notes the applicant's position in that the current uses aren't as marketable or feasible, and that housing, including more attainable options, are actually in demand. Then there's side B, the save it crowd. They look at this and go, this is literally one of the last big green spaces in the community. 23 Mile Road is busy enough, and then you're putting density on a river corridor? Are you crazy? They're also not wrong either. The master plan future land use map identifies this parcel as public and semi-public. He even said the golf course could have been a possible opportunity for a nature and recreation area, but it also said the quiet part out loud. This land is privately owned. So now let's talk emotionally first, not just logically, because if you live behind this land, you didn't just buy a house, you bought the story back in the day. We back up to the greens, we have some space, we have quiet, and that's why this feels like somebody's probably messing with your life plan. And here's the other truth that nobody really wants to say. A closed, neglected site is not the same as a pristine golf course. A great golf course typically adds value. A rough, overgrown, what the hell's happening behind your house site, that can feel like a liability. So it's not change versus no change. It's literally what future do we build here that doesn't punish people who already live around it? Now, this is where on-screen visuals and TV magic might make this fun for you guys, because everyone argues in words, and words are exactly why people hate each other in the comments and all over online. So this is what I want to do. I want to show you basically a future menu. None of this is a promise of any kind by any means, but I just want to help you visualize the trade-offs like an adult, so maybe we can find something that might fit somebody somewhere. We're going to label these concepts A through F on screen, okay? Concept A, this is where we're going to start the current proposal field. 147 homes plus condos near the front, one main access via 23 Mile Road. Here's the positives. There's more housing options, there's a new tax base for the community, new road and utility upgrades that often come with the development will show up. But then there's the negative. There's more traffic pressure at a busy corridor and a shift in the feel of the area that is for the nearby homes. Then concept B, clustered housing with a big green river corridor. This is the master plan style compromise. Here's the positives. You get housing, but you also keep a serious green buffer and protect the river corridor. But the negative, fights over density and lot sizes that never stops and they never disappear. They just get to move that around the map. Then there's concept C, guys. A true greenway with a nature park model with trails, boardwalks, small parking area, maybe even a little kayak launch if that can make sense. This is actually the dream vision for a lot of the residents. And here's the question every dream actually has to answer. Who writes the check? So let's actually talk about how this is actually funded in Michigan. Option 1, a millage or bond approved by the voters for parks and open space acquisition. Michigan townships regularly vote on approved millages or bonds for public purposes, and they use ballot language that is governed in part by the state. What the hell does that mean? Yes, it's possible, but it takes organizational specific ballot language and a community willing to pay for what it says it values. Option 2, grants. It's easy when someone else just drops a check. Example, Grand Blanc actually received funding to repurpose a former golf course into a public park, including some additional outside grant support. Option 3, guys, a conservation partnership. Nonprofits and conservancies can acquire land or easements, and it's protected long-term while the community gets access or trails that they want. And yes, former golf course land in Michigan has been converted into nature and prairie use, and they've done that through partnerships and volunteers. Option 4, a hybrid deal. The developer builds on the most profitable parts, and in exchange, the river corridors and the sensitive areas get protected as permanent open spaces with public access easements. There's some maintenance funding, and there's clear rules. And that's how a lot of communities actually get green space without your township just buying up everything. Concept D, the legacy donor play. Now this one's real, and it happens more than people would like to think. Either a well-off family, a local foundation, or just a corporate donor funds an open space acquisition or endows maintenance so the land becomes a forever asset. And if you're honestly wondering, does Michigan actually do this? The answer would be yes. Detroit actually required a former golf course and its land and is developing it as a park. With a public planning process and master plan vision, they're able to do this. But it's a different city, it's a different scale. But the point is, former golf land can and will become public green space if money and will actually align. Concept E, guys, it's the do nothing future. And I need to say this because some people think do nothing means they get to preserve it. No, do nothing means we let vacant land and a vacant site age, we let the drainage and access get weirder, and we wait for the most profitable solution to actually show up later. When everyone's too tired to fight anymore, the do nothing is actually a decision. It just becomes a decision by default. Now, let's talk about traffic without everyone starting to melt down. The planning materials literally say a full traffic study would be needed to determine its impact. And they also note that 23 Mile Road is classified as a minor artery, and a planned 120-foot right-of-way is actually in the master plan. And just to add a little bit of context, MDOT did a resurfacing project just recently on M29 and 23 Mile Road between Baker and County Line already, with pedestrian improvements and restriping. That doesn't solve development traffic, but it tells you that the corridor is now on the state's radar, so they're paying attention too. Now, here's the part where I'm going to try to get everyone to calm down for a second. Whatever you believe, this doesn't have to become a war. It can be a negotiation, because the win is not no change. The win is, if change happens, it happens with some protections, with design, with open space, and with a plan that doesn't punish the neighborhood. So here's my future focus ask for everybody. It's not a comment script, it's not a sales pitch. If you truly care about this land, stop arguing about what and who you hate online, and take some time and start describing what you actually want and what you vision. Do you want real greenway, a cluster development with a protected river corridor, maybe a hybrid deal with an easement, a park funded by millages or a donor? Because once a community can actually articulate a vision, it's way harder for decisions to begin to get made quietly. And if you want to actually take some time to track this for yourself, the township's public hearing notice said the documents are available for inspection at the township offices over off of Sugarbush, and Chesterfield uses the Civic Web for packets and agendas, so you can see those. Now, I'm going to end this with a futuristic connection for you guys, because the site is not an island. This is part of a bigger shift inside of northern Macomb County right now. Land use is under pressure. It's under infrastructure pressure, and the next wave of big project conversations are here. And that's why in this series we're actually covered the landfill expansion, and why we're actually talking about data center rumors in northern Macomb County next. Because these stories all connect to the very same question. What do we want this area to be? A bedroom community? A growth zone? Do we want it to be a greenway corridor? Or an infrastructure hub? There's truthfully no perfect answer, but there is a worst answer. And the worst answer is we fight so hard that we actually forget to build a vision.